So here is the JEEPuter, pretty much completed now. I gotta do a couple little programming things, but all the hardware is pretty much done. I also gotta finish putting a couple pieces on the Jeep itself. I still have to remove the steering wheel lock. I'm doing that tomorrow. That'll allow me so I can actually drive the Jeep without the key. I kind of forgot about that. I can start it and everything, but can't turn the wheel without the key in. So I'll be removing that tomorrow. So the JEEPuter is up here in the Tuffy lock. And also here's another Arduino. Down here, I have two. If you can see, it's running this keypad. There's pictures of it in the blog. So you type that code in, type the code into here, and it's like turning the Jeep on to the on position with the key, which will then turn the Jeep on. Then you can actually start the Jeep with the Arduino powered JEEPuter up here in the Tuffy lock. So let me kind of show you how this works. You can see here, type the code in. Turns green. As you can see, all the gauges came on. Everything's coming on here, along with the JEEPuter. The timing is actually not working, as you can tell right now. It will be. I have the time module, but I'm actually waiting for a shift register to free up some pins before I can make it work completely. But the temperature is working, along with the light sensor is working well. The temp sensor is just down here. It's actually in that hole. It's hard to tell, hard to see it. And then the light sensor, I'll show you really quick here, is in the front. It's hard to see it, but it's right there. The light sensor in the front of this will detect ambient light and adjust and turn on things accordingly. There's a page in here that you can actually set how sensitive it is, and I will show you that here in a minute. But right now I'm going to go through each set, every page here. These red buttons are your next and previous, and also these are your select buttons. As you can see, these lines that go across to what you want to select. And when the Jeep turns on, it starts here on the time and temperature. So you click next, and it's going to take you to the garage lights and door, along with engine start. I'll show you this page and how it works later, just because when you turn the Jeep on, it's kind of loud in here. Don't feel like doing that right now. I'll do that at the end of the video. So your first page of, components here, you got your CB radio, GPS scanner, and inverter. I have it set so the GPS always turns on whenever the Jeep turns on. I kind of like that. As you can see, the GPS is right here. It's on. That's kind of pre-programmed to always come on when the Jeep comes on. So you can turn it off, though, if you'd like. And it shows off, and if you listen, you can probably even hear the relay clicking on and off. And then it'll now turn back on. CB radio is going to be actually, I'll show you this here, turn it on. Going to be under here, this Tuffy mount. You can't see it here, but it's quite cool. That was actually the CB turning on. If you lift this up, there's the CB radio. Kind of cool. Keeps it hidden and locked up, so you don't have to worry about it. Back to this, I got a scanner. I like to listen to air traffic control. Also, for work, I sometimes like to listen to EMS and police frequencies. You can turn that on and off, which is actually right here. So, and these actually, this Tuffy mount's real nice because I can actually make it hidden if I don't want to see it. Sometimes it's kind of hard to come down, but there it goes. And I'm not going to leave all these on just because my Jeep isn't on right now, so the power kind of gets sucked up if you're using all this stuff. And then inverter, you can hear it just click on, and that is actually down here. It's hard to see. See, I have a power plug down there, so we can turn the light on here for a second. Yeah, there's a power plug down there, and the green LED indicates the inverter is on. Okay, so turn that off real quick. And see inverter turning off. The next page, we got side lighting, interior lighting, fog lights, and LEDs. Side light. All right, now let me show you the lights and everything working. So you can click here on your interior lights. You turn these on and off. You can see it turns the interior lights on and off. These are also, interior lights are also automatic with the door. fog lights, you'll be able to see outside the fog lights coming on and off with this. LED interior lights will come on and off. Side lighting, as you can see here. Got side lights when you're on, going down trails and stuff. You can see what's going on. LED lights. Now this is going to give you three options. You have off, on, or auto. Now auto, you can see, it's hard to see these red lights down here. Turn them on. Auto is what's reading when it reads the light sensor, so you have the option to tell it if you want it to be automatic or turn on and off. So if you want, along with the dash lights, as you can see they're turning on and off. That's also auto, on or off. Low beam, as you can see. I'm not going to leave these on just because the Jeep isn't on. And then daylight, your day running lights can be either auto or off or on. Now, in this page that I wanted to show you guys, you got a couple things. You can do lights. This is actually going to turn my garage lights on and off, as you can see. That's just set up on a simple RF switch. And this will do my garage door. It's honestly just wired to a garage door opener, so if I hit that, you see the garage door is going up. I've stopped them and put it back down. Now, after you type the code in on the other Arduino, you can come here and this is how you're to start the Jeep. You'll type the code in, and it'll let you push this. And now the Jeep is running. You can see everything's working here. I'm not going to leave this on very long just because of carbon monoxide. So go ahead and turn this off. Now to turn it off would be like to switch the key off. So you'd have to come down to the keypad, and you can see the green LED indicates it's on. But if you push this right here, it turns it off. It goes to red. That's actually shutting everything off though, even the Arduino. Everything will turn off when you do that. So one thing I'm adding, haven't done it yet, is like a power override switch. When you push it on the Arduino, it kind of bypasses the switched power and makes it a constant. So when you turn the Jeep off, if you're fueling up, anything like that, your GPS stays on, your radio stays on, so you don't have to reset that stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much the JEEPuter completed. Glad you guys liked it. Again, type the code in. Turns on, green LED comes on. Everything comes on. The lights come on automatically just because they're set to automatic normally when they kick on. So yeah, that is it. And again, like I said, click here. Jeep is on. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so here's the diagnostics section. You can't access it by just hitting the next pages, but if you hit enter, it'll take you to it. If you look at my code, it jumps to a different set of pages when you open it up. So now that you're in diagnostics, you can switch here. The first page is the ambient light setting page. Right now it's showing a 53 value. And what I did is I actually took it, and obviously the light the light sensor takes light and outputs a voltage between 0 and 5 volts depending on how much light it is. So it sends a value of like 1024, I think, is what it sends it to the Arduino. But I took that in the code and divided it by I think 10, just to bring it down, the numbers down a little bit, because I save these numbers into the EEPROM of the Arduino. So if you change it here, set your ambient light temperature. This is the reading here. You can turn it on or off. But I'm actually setting it here to higher and lower settings. And when you power down the Jeep and power it back up, it will remember these settings. And every time you push the button, it automatically saves it into the Arduino EEPROM. So that's ambient light. Next is going to be the shift registers. You've seen this in another video. It shows you what registers are on and what they're doing at the moment. It is also a good way to test them. I can't test it right now just because everything's plugged in. It would kind of cause everything to turn off and on. Don't want to get into that, but it is in the other video. So your next page is going to be the date settings. Right now I'm going to have it to do daylight savings on and off. It'll just be easier than trying to reprogram the real-time clock. So you can just, every time you turn that off or on, depending on what it is, it'll subtract an hour or go back to the normal time. Daylight savings. I think daylight savings is a joke anyway. These are just sensors. This is the actual reading of what the ambient light is. It's 267, 268. I think it's blinking between. That's without it being divided by 10, so you can actually see what it's coming in. And the temp is what's actually coming in voltage-wise to the temperature gauge and not being calculated in Fahrenheit and Celsius. And this is the relay fan, which I will show you in my relay box. I added a fan to kind of help keep it cool, so you can turn that on and off. And there you go. You can exit and go back into your